Welcome back. It's News View. I'm visiting with Ron Hart, syndicated columnist, author, and Fox News View contributor, making him a great American. Off air, Ron makes a really valid point. On air, he makes the same valid point. If you have a core set of mores, beliefs, if you stand for something personally, then when questioned, you always have something to stand on. When it is nebulous and you are trying to just do whatever it is that these people are trying to do, then it rings hollow and shallow with the people that are listening, which in most cases is a portion of the American public. But let me talk about my hero, especially with the temperature in the studio being what it is. Al Gore has apparently, I think he's a serial masseuse attacker.
Misogynist.
Yeah, a misogynist. I like it a lot. Al Gore, the misogynist.
Yeah, he clearly, you look at the last few, you got John Kerry, $500,000 in trouble, cheating on his taxes in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. You got John Edwards, very close to being your vice presidential situation. And now you got Al Gore, who's always been a major creep in my book. I grew up in a couple counties over from him in Tennessee. To a person, no one likes him there. I mean, he's a creep. He's arrogant. He'd come back from the Senate in Tennessee. He'd have a plumber come over, fix his toilet, and wouldn't pay him.
Right.
You don't do that in Carthage, Tennessee.
Right.
You can't talk.
Yeah, really.
And the arrogance in which he had, and I'm not surprised at all about the Portland, Oregon masseuse. She was begged by the local media. It was covered up by the local media, basically, never picked up by the national media, because they're protecting the environment. They're protecting Al Gore. How many times has he been protected before? He got caught recently in Beverly Hills with a masseuse. Not caught, but she said he did the same thing to her. You know, he's got an Oscar, so maybe he was showing her his animated short. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. That'll be over time. Short documentary, but he'll find some reason to justify it. He'll find a reason to justify this thing. But look, the guy is terribly arrogant. Trying to leave his carbon footprint everywhere.
Oh, Lord. So is the National Enquirer on his trail?
I gotta tell you, let's tell. It's funny, the National Enquirer, the media, Sean Hannity says the media died.
An Oscar or something, didn't they? A Pulitzer Prize for some of the stuff they've done.
Look, they only, they're uncovering of things like the John Edwards affair and the Gore thing. It's the left they uncover because the media, the mainstream media, won't go after it. So I think I'm a big freedom of the press guy. You and I traffic in the First Amendment.
Right.
And
really?
Yeah, very much so do. Not like what George Carlin did, but this is not Andrew Dice Clay, but we do traffic in our feelings and our thoughts, and it should be protected. Obama doesn't want to protect it if it's different than his. Right. Under the fairness doctrine, he's trying to get rid of all opposition, like Chavez or any good dictator does. But you got a situation here where Al Gore.
You don't think that would include this show, do you?
No, you'd like to think you're big enough to care. Maybe you do something.
Surely they wouldn't get down to this level.
He'll be down here vacationing. In fact, the week he's down here, let's do a show the night he's down here. Maybe
I would love to do it.
Let me know he's down, just in case he picks up the news and see what happens.
It'd be an honor to have the president on my show. You think he'd do that?
No. He won't come. He won't. It's too hot in here. He would not come on your show. But I'll do one when he's here. Maybe he'll pick us up. We'll do a puppet show or some animation about the economy, about how you don't get the business people and run them out of business.
Sock puppets.
Exactly, sock puppets, like the media is for him.
Yeah, sock
That's
puppets.
Exactly what you need.
Ron Hart, we'll be right back. Welcome back. It's News View. I'm visiting with Ron Hart, and we are talking about a variety of issues. Moving on, it's sometimes so confusing, but El Tigre, Tiger Woods, and Kobe Bryant, tied for number one in the poll of who Americans think are their favorite athlete.
Yeah. Well, I hope that the key word was athlete, because if those are the morals of the rest of the world, then it's not, doesn't speak well of our country. But you know, they're great athletes. They really are. They've made some bad decisions. America's a very forgiving place.
So look at Clinton.
Exactly.
You know, don't separate his sexual separate his sexual preferences from the job he's doing as president. Wasn't that the mantra that we heard?
Right, and part of me believes that. I mean, you look at our founding fathers. They're scoundrels.
Right.
I'm just telling you, down the line.
Right.
I mean, Ben Franklin and Sally Hemings. I mean, you got. So, as a libertarian, I don't want to excuse the Winston Churchills of the world, the Eisenhowers of the world. As you get older, I mean, in 8th grade, you read biographies, and it was always a sanitized biography of the kid. And you get to college, you start reading the bigger biographies, and they all got peccadillos. So I don't think it's an issue of that. The founding fathers clearly were pretty much
Rounders.
womanizers, rounders, et cetera. And it tends to be your creative types for some reason. But these guys, Kobe and Tiger, I mean, they are great athletes, no doubt about it. I'm surprised they won the poll. I mean, no one's willing to penalize them. I mean, it seems like LeBron James now would probably get Al Gore and John Edwards to be his life coach.
Yeah, but Ron, what I mean, I think it seems to be a little ironic that as long as your mistakes or your misnomers or your focus is on sex, you get more forgiveness than if it is with drugs.
Yeah. I guess. I mean,
look at.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Vic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know dogfighting's not a good thing, but gosh almighty.
They blew him away.
I mean, they nuked him. They nuked him.
Everybody loves their dogs, and everybody loves their wife. They mess around with women.
Yeah, but people fight, and so do dogs. And
people have sex, and so do dogs. I mean, it is.
But I mean, they nuked him.
Oh, I agree. I mean, he got no sympathy from anybody, and he tried to come back. He didn't. Truth is, I was in Atlanta at the time. Vic was not a good guy. He was given STDs, I'm told, to a lot of women around town, the Ron Mexico thing. And, he was a very, pretty much using a lot of drugs. He just wasn't liked, not by teammates, not by, and Blank, the owner of the Falcons, tried to make him his Pygmalion project, Dr. whatever it is, Doolittle in the Pygmalion, and make him something he wasn't. And he just kept disappointing to the point that no one really liked him. He alienated him. Now, the quarterback now for the Falcons, Matt Ryan, is a friend of mine, grade A American guy. Yeah. He's just completely all-American. So at the end of the day, that should matter more. I think when you have a team, and you look at the winning teams over time, they usually have people that are selfless and more like that. There's usually 5 players like that than there are like a Tiger. It's a very, golf too is a very selfish sport. It's just you out there. You're not a team player. That's the reason Americans don't do well in the Ryder Cup. They should dominate the Ryder Cup. But they don't, because they don't, unlike the Europeans, they don't gel as a team. The Europeans, they drink beer. You see the Mexican guy, Miguel, smoking a cigar. You see all these Westwoods, having a beer afterwards. These are different type of people. They gel better as a team. So Americans, sports in general is a very selfish endeavor, especially golf. And I'm not totally surprised at that.
That's why I never did well with it.
Well, Lance Armstrong's going to run for office too. This will be the first time a testicular problem launched a career rather than ending a career in politics. So this will be an interesting thing when Lance runs.
That is so wrong. Newsview, we'll be right back.